365 World News.
We want to turn now to a helicopter crash in the Grand Canyon. You can see the horrifying images. The chopper going down in flames in that rocky terrain there. At least 3 people dead and several others injured. Rescue choppers are now arriving on scene, but this is a very tricky rescue mission.
ABC's Marcy Gonzalez is at an airfield in Las Vegas. She has more on the company's safety record here as well as the difficulty of this rescue mission. Marcy, good morning to you.
Hi guys, good morning. It is still unclear where this flight originated, but we do know this company is one of many, including this one, that operate tours from here in Vegas. Right now, the focus is on the 4 people who were injured. This morning, images of that tour helicopter in a ball of flames after crashing in the Grand Canyon, and the desperate operation to rescue the survivors. Officials saying 7 people were on board, 3 killed. You can see rescue crews battling treacherous, rocky conditions. These harrowing images from a tourist on a different helicopter exploring the canyon. A witness describing the scene.
And I saw helicopter making a couple weird turns like it was getting ready to land, but I'd never seen that type of landing before. It tilted, went down between a mountain, tail broke off, and it crashed. I heard the one big boom and then probably about 5 explosions after that and burst into flames.
It happened just at sunset Saturday near Quartermaster Canyon. The helicopter, a Eurocopter EC-130 made by Airbus. The tour company, Papillon Airways, advertising on its site a day of adventure touring the majestic sights of the Grand Canyon, saying it flies roughly 600,000 passengers a year on Grand Canyon and other tours. Images of the winding region showing just how difficult the area can be to navigate.
Because of the ruggedness of the terrain, you can't just walk in to rescue the people or drive in, so all rescues have to be conducted by aircraft.
A search of Papillon Airways' safety record reveals since 1996 at least 16 incidents in the region. Back in 2001, a helicopter returning to Las Vegas from the Grand Canyon crashed, killing 6 with 1 survivor. At this point, it's unclear what caused this crash. The FAA and NTSB will investigate. Dan, Cecilia?
Okay, Marcy, thank you. A lot of questions still, so let's bring in ABC News consultant Stephen Ganyard, a former Marine Corps pilot who has flown in that area in the Grand Canyon before. Steve, the conditions there, you were saying, can be especially tough.
Yeah, I'll state the obvious, Cecilia, and it's some of the most rugged terrain in the world, which is why people go to see it. But until you fly there, you can't really appreciate just how tough the flying is. And the other half of it is that the air is very thin since the altitude is quite high at the rim, and so very, very challenging flying conditions. You know, looking at the impact here, you can see why it's been tough to get in rescuers overnight. It's in a ravine. The way that we're looking at that wreckage, it does not look like it was a controlled crash. Just from what we're seeing, it looks like it was something catastrophic that happened just before impact.
Steve, given how tricky it is to fly in this area and given how tricky it is to operate a rescue mission, would you recommend that tourists not take these chopper flights?
Dan, you know, people have to understand that these are, when you go to these beautiful places, you're in rugged terrain, and if something happens to the aircraft or the helicopter, that you're being put in some a tough situation. So I think when people and families think about, are we going to get on that airplane, are we going to get on that helicopter, you need to have done your due diligence, and you need to understand that it's not a Disneyland ride and that there are risks.
Steve Ganyard, we really appreciate your expertise on a Sunday morning.